have beaten the Atlanta Braves 8-7 in the first game of this three-game series. Well, it's a long way from East Liverpool, Ohio, where Bernie Allen was born in 1939, a 34-year-old veteran who became a member of the Expos just a couple of days ago. We'd seen Bernie Allen a few times in some exhibition games. I'd had the chance to see him play when he was with the Washington Senators, but I never knew Bernie Allen. I talked to Gene Mock the other night and said, what about this new player we have, Bernie Allen, to stand in for Ron Hunt while he's on the disabled list? Gene said, well, the first thing I can tell you about him is he's a class guy. He knows how to play the game. He's a winning-type ball player, and I think he's got something left in him. He sure did. With 2 outs in the ninth, he had a lot left, a 2-run single to win the ball game. And here's Russ with the former Purdue Boilermaker quarterback, Bernie Allen.
Thanks very much, Dave. Well, yes, we have Bernie Allen with us. Bernie, I guess you could say, poetic justice. You made that costly error in the top half of the ninth inning, but you came back with the key base hit. Just what are your feelings?
Well, I was happy to see that ball drop in there, really. I made a very dumb mistake, really, on my part in the ninth inning there by trying to go to second instead of just taking the easy throw to first base, but and it seemed to open up the gates for them, and they took advantage of it, so I was very happy to get the opportunity to make up for it, and I was really happy when I saw the ball drop in there.
And so were some 23,000 fans here at Jerry Park. Was there any kind of a problem getting yourself back up? You had to feel down after making the error. The Expos had an apparent victory. To get yourself up, did you have to sort of erase the memory of the top half of the ninth?
Oh, definitely. You have to forget what happened. After I knew it was going to be up there, all I could think of was just concentrate on hitting the ball, and I was trying to go up the middle with it and just trying to hit it hard someplace, and fortunately I hit the ball where somebody wasn't.
Okay, Bernie, that was quite a duel, though, between you and Danny Frisella. Frisella can be mighty tough in the clutch. He's got all kinds of pitches, including a forkball. Could you perhaps, for our listeners, just recap the battle between you and Frisella?
Oh, actually, he only threw me one kind of pitch. All of them seemed to be fastballs that he turned over, more like a screwball. And the ball was going away from me, and he happened to get this one up a little bit, and I think a little bit in, and I just tried to hit the ball up the middle, and I lucked out that time.
You were saying that you were glad you were able to take that first pitch.
Yes, I was, because I really didn't even know he turned the ball over like that, and by taking the first pitch, I saw what the ball did, so I was able to then readjust my way of thinking to it.
Bernie, you spent all of your Major League career in the American League. This is something new now, the National League. Do you notice any difference? You've only played 2 games.
Well, it's pretty tough, pretty early to say there's a big difference, but they seem to play the game a little bit different here in the National League. Of course, they got the pitchers hitting, and over in American League this year we have designated hitter, and of course that changes the whole game, and so I got to readjust myself to thinking, with the pitcher up again.
Well, Bernie, you've had some exciting moments in the major leagues. I believe your rookie year in 1962 with Minnesota, you had an outstanding year, and of course you're with the Twins in the World Series.
No, I'll have to correct you on one thing. I wasn't with them during the World Series. I was with them that year, but I broke a thumb before the World Series.
Let's say World Series year.
Oh, yes, definitely I was with them, and it was exciting. We had good ball clubs that year.
Bernie, some other thrills you've had. You once hit 3 home runs in a ball game, back-to-back against Washington.
Yes, I happened to do that, and I guess last year I hit 3 home runs in a game, but it was an exhibition game.
That was against the Dodgers at Cooperstown.
In Cooperstown, so I made a Hall of Fame that kept my bat.
Well, that's certainly something to treasure, the thought that you do have a bat at the Hall of Fame. Bernie, we do not know too much about you. We do know that you were a quarterback with the Boilermakers at Purdue. What made you switch from football to baseball? Did you ever have to reach a point in your career where you'd have to make a decision?
Yes, I had the opportunity to go into pro football, but it wasn't really a decision on my part, a hard one anyway, because I always wanted to play baseball, and I played football mainly as a way of getting through college, and I got my education, so after I got out, I went right into baseball.
Okay, Bernie, finally, what are your impressions of Jerry Park?
I love it. It's a nice short right field, and they tell me the wind blows out that way quite a bit. I just hope I can get my swing and start to get it in a groove, and then maybe I can start popping maybe one or two out of here.
Well, let's hope a few balls are waiting for you beyond that right field fence before this season comes to an end.
I'll vote for that.
Okay, Bernie, thanks very much for speaking with us, and congratulations once again.
Thank you, Russ.
My guest has been Bernie Allen of the Montreal Expos, who came through with a clutch hit, a single to right center field to drive in the tying and winning runs as the Expos score a thrilling 8-7 come-from-behind victory here at Jerry Park. For appearing on the post-game show, Bernie Allen receives a gift certificate from Hemsley's, Montreal's oldest diamond house at the corner of St. Catherine and University. The final score, the Expos 8, the Braves 7. Now stay tuned, and Dave will be back for a recap of all the scores in just 1 minute.
If the Cardinals lose their ball game, the Expos will close to within 3 games and at least a tie with the Pirates in the Eastern Division for second place. At the moment, the Expos are 3.5 games behind the Cardinals, with Montreal winning game number 58 in the win column. The Chicago Cubs snapped their losing streak and won today, so at the moment they are 5 games behind St. Louis. Again, the standings pending the outcome of the Cardinal ball game. In the Western Division, with the Dodgers losing and the Reds winning, the Reds move again to within a game and a half of Los Angeles in the West, and the Giants also won, so they're now 8 games behind the Dodgers. Over in the American League, Baltimore won, so they've got a 1-game lead right now on Detroit and 2.5 games on the Yankees. The Yankees have losing their ball game. Boston won, they're 4 out, and Milwaukee's 7 games out at the moment, so 7 games separating those first 5 teams in the Eastern Division of the American League. Oakland playing out on the West Coast. They've got a chance to pick up some ground on Kansas City. With the Royals losing, right now Oakland's got a half-game lead on Kansas City, and of course a A's victory would mean Oakland on top by 1 game. They've got 9.5 games on Minnesota, 3rd place in the American League West. Here at Jerry Park, a dramatic ball game with some tremendous ball in the late innings, with Atlanta coming from behind. They had led early in the ball game. The Expos had taken a 5-2 lead. Then Atlanta came from behind and put 5 runs across the plate in the 9th to take a 7-5 lead. The Expos got 3 in the 9th to win it 8-7. With 2 outs and 2 strikes on Bernie Allen, he got a base hit out into right center to drive in 2 runs. Jorgensen and Manguel scoring, and the Expos win the ball game 8-7. The line again: Montreal 8-11-1. The Braves 7-10-1. Walker the winner in relief, Trezella the loser in relief. The game was played in 3 hours, and we had 23,821 to see the game. Tomorrow night, we'll celebrate the Expos' 5th birthday here at Jerry Park, and Steve Rogers will pitch for Montreal, Carl Morton for Atlanta. 8:05 will be game time. We'll be on the air at 7:50. The 3rd game of this series and our final game of the year with the Braves will be played here on Sunday afternoon. Mike Torres against Phil Niekro, a 2:15 game, and it's also the Expos' father-son game. That'll start at 1:45, so you want to plan to get to the park early on Sunday. On the Braves side of the ledger tonight, we will mention Henry Aaron's 30th home run of the year. That home run tied him with Stan Musial on the all-time list for extra base hits at 1,377. It was his 30th of the year and his 703rd career home run. He needs 11 to tie the Babe's mark of 714 lifetime home runs. That was, as a matter of fact, the only home run in this game, won by the Expos 8-7. This broadcast